Donato with the rebound. She falls in about 7 a game. Look at Clark. Yes! That did not go her way. Martin will flip back for Clark. She'll launch it. Got it.
Block with those long arms. Decided better of it. Great discipline by Clark, but a strong steal and finish by Georgia once again.
Clark with an open look. Pushes it. Donato can't get it to go. Clark with a little fall away. Got it.
For me, you take Caitlin Clark off the floor. I mean, that just creates so many issues for Iowa that you do in the fall and non-conference portion of the season.
Clark again beating everyone to the opposite end for 2.
We'll watch, and we're not even to halftime yet.
Lane opens up, and she'll lane.
Friday, but still their 3rd game in as many days. Clark backs up. Because she was not a very good three-point shooter, only 1 of 5 a year ago, but she's now shooting at 38%. Obviously, that's the game plan, and hardly anybody's ever done it.
Well, look, and the way that you make it hard on her, and she's seen it all year long, is physicality. It's closing up the gap. You cannot give her
efforts. Clark again with the bucket. Then Caitlin.
Monica Sonano, who returned for a 5th year.
And then
That was a quick pull by Abby Myers.
talk about a quick scoring in the paint. Caitlin Clark, or North rather, of Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Both teams have the same colors, so it's hard to tell who's who, but we can tell.
And Clark pushing, and that's exactly in the paint today.
And that was a poor shot. I don't know if I like that one as much as the others that she's taken down in there.
Monica Sonano quickly gets it out to Kate Martin. Bolton's been so solid against her. Clark finds herself.
Purdue staying right in the thick of things.
First quarter continues to go on.
Clark, there she goes again. Yes! Trying to make a move on the drive. Gets it in! Tried to get off the shot. They want Clark to touch it. Clark with a runner, banks it in. Clark with a scoop, went right to the...
Use one to avoid a turnover. Then she challenged them to do better on the boards, boxing out. And
they catch and get an open field for a 3.
Parrish also a very good rebounder. Clark with a one-hander.
Shot. Here comes Caitlin Clark, yet to shoot today. Didn't take long. Book it. What they really want is a deep run in March. Clark hits the 3. What would be one of the signature wins for their NCAA tournament resume. Caitlin Clark.
Of spacing. There's a ball screen there.
Almost a 3-minute scoring drought for the Hawkeyes. And that comes.
That's what they need. They need that fight for possessions.
Caitlin Clark now has it. Clark's trying to call a timeout. Instead, she steals it for an easy.
Of about 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. Here's Caitlin Clark off the ball. Clark on the move on the inside. Long 3-ball, yes! Dangerous. I think gives her an opportunity to go around you. Here's Caitlin, wide open 3 from the left wing. Out by Caitlin Clark, quickly into the front court of Fulter. Guarded by Copeland. Now it's McKenna Warnock with Maddie Wilkie on her out on top. Caitlin.
First shot to fathom, but she shot 47% from downtown over the last 2 games. And here she is again, back to 7 points or less. This has traditionally been a very tightly contested matchup. How about
need her to do? That's why she needs to stay on the floor and stay disciplined defensively.
Right back the other. Tipped away by Clark into the front court. And Clark
was up this record crowd of over 13,000.
Clark hesitates.
Tania Thompson can't get it to go off glass. Caitlin Clark, she'll go all the way. Caitlin Clark second in the nation in assists per game. She also does 40 seconds on the Clark clock. By Clark, one-on-one against Chesky. And she gets the upper hand of at least 20 points. And can she add more?
man not letting Clark get open. She's open now. Clark had to get herself.
Post players early. Clark gets a screen, pulls up, wing triple, got it. Just trying to weather the storm. Clark spinning, throwing up a circus shot, and one. It might have. Break for Iowa. Can they take advantage? You know it. Kate Clark coming around the screen. Turnaround jumper is good. Brings down the board, trying to push for Iowa. Spinning into the lane, hanging and finishing to Clark.
Ooh.
Working on Joyner. Going to the lane, spinning, fade away. Got it! Kate.
Shake Chesky, the freshman, knocked it in for Penn State. Caitlin Clark's first points of the game roll in. There's an open look for Caitlin Clark. Oh, wonderful give and go as Clark. Such a contrast. You see the ball moving by the Hawkeyes, leads to an open Caitlin Clark three. Hasn't allowed them the opportunity to do it so far today.
Well, no, because they're scoring like that.
Clark to Sonano. Sonano to Clark. Clark, way too open.
I wonder how many triple doubles have been achieved with steals in the category.
I'll tell you what, her teammate did it. McKenna Marisa last year had a triple.
Warnock swings it to Martin. Inside, low block. Good dump inside. Sonano can't handle it. Clark, long three. Got it. Dribble drive. Shakes off the defender. Comes back to the right hand.
Good defense in finding the offense on the other end.
Warnock back to Davis. Gives it to Clark. Long three again. Martin looks for three. Clark feeling it. Past one. The ball back. Got it.
Realize that they're the athletic team right now.
Sonano back out to Clark for three. Short. But Clark takes it out of the hoop. Step back. Pull up. Top of the key.
Marshall brings it up. Clark coming towards it. Filio defending. Michigan's top defender in a two-player game between Sonano and Clark. Oh, Maddie Nolan, a senior on this roster. Clark, one of those distance attacks. Brown has to be more aggressive offensively for Michigan. She's sliding into that point guard role and down with it. That was a heck of a rebound. That was a heck of a rebound. Almost all 1-2. Great cut. Well, that's not a surprise. I mean, this is a team that averages 86 points a ball game, 90 in conference play. They're going to continue to come out. Ollie Davis kicks it back out. Marshall taking a peek inside and a touch to Sonano. A back cut. Settle down and slow down as Caitlin Clark lowers her head, goes right through.
In regards to being afraid of getting blocked, she just focuses on the finish.
Caitlin Clark, that's a really fun matchup between her and Sonano today. Caitlin Clark behind the screen.
Jensen, and has just loved Iowa her whole life.
Oh, what a tough job. No points in the last 3 minutes and change on this end for Iowa. Caitlin Clark trying to change.
To the basket. I don't know how she did that.
Just brilliant basketball today. To do next. Loves having the ball in her hands. Wow, Caitlin there. Odin had plenty of room. That's enough room for Clark. Couldn't finish. Caitlin Clark trying to clean it up and still clinging on to that 4-point lead inside of the final 6 minutes of this thriller. Clark a step back three. Clark trying for a quick answer. Clark, that's a tough three. Wow.
less than stellar performance from her usually, but already making up for it.
Back out to Martin. Thought about the three, gave it back to Clark. Clark will take the three. Clark pushes it up. Draws the contact, gets. Clark shakes to the left, pull up from 18. Gives it to Stuelke. Martin, back to Clark for three. Get good at that corner three.
Only missed about 2 in the pregame.
Clark gives to Warnock. Clark beats.
I think that burned the Hawkeyes right there.
Clark mid-range. Got it. Clark step back three. Rattles. Clark with some space. Scores.
Hit a big shot, and this game is still going.
Clark, pull-up jumper. Got it. Pull-up jumper, Clark.
Hard to play without her having the ball in her hands also while she's out there. There she is, the step back, a little Doncic, and they're doing it with the three ball. Clark tries to respond, and here's Clark. Her first shot of the second half, got it. Support as well by visiting v.org/Stewart. 100% of those donations goes to research, and she's a tough customer now. Like, her demeanor and expression never changed. Clark for three. You want to give 6'6" the move, the ball on the move like that. Clark will take advantage. I think Iowa showed a lot of maturity here in the second half as they got the double-digit lead, and they have not let Iowa State back in. Clark.
That's Warnock. Passes back to Clark, driving towards the basket from Wilkie and Pospisilova, but oh my goodness, look at rim two, rebounded by Caitlin Clark. And here come the Hawkeyes. Clark with their first 3-point shot. But here comes Caitlin Clark right back using that speed, and it just doesn't get around it. Goes into the backcourt here. Some coverage from LU. Passes it over to Marshall. Marshall trying to figure out what she's going to do. Passes it to Stuelke. Back to Clark. Clark with the shot from the logo, and it is
Big Ten today.
Absolutely. Caitlin Clark now driving forward. Jump shot, and it's
Coming out in the second half, though, for Wisconsin. Get the ball down low in the paint. Try to use a little bit of your size advantage with your forwards.
Caitlin Clark with free throws and shooting from the court.
And she's been the next best player all year behind Pospisilova.
Oh, my.
The bench. Kia Brown-Turner is a good perimeter defender, but Caitlin up. Clark, all she needs is about they actually go up when she plays against top 10 teams to close out the first quarter and get close. The headline here is Monica Sonano not only hasn't scored, but hasn't taken a shot. And it's a three-point ball game. Caitlin Clark makes it a 5. Clark with the pick. Attacking and then kicking for those threes. They're getting a foot in the paint, forcing a little bit of a rotation, and then getting a three-out drive. Here's Clark. Against the zone, get the ball in the high post, and work from there. Clark with another. Leader says go. They clear out for Caitlin. Time this season she's hit it, but NC State has done a good job defensively. She has doubled that. Clark from the logo! Well, you better be careful, there might be another one coming right here.
Johnson. She lives for these moments. Everybody's getting involved.
You mentioned Diamond Johnson. She now has 20 points for the game.
Caitlin Clark read that pass, takes it back the other way, and Mule challenges her, but
dive, and it was just well executed there from big to big.
Clark on the cut, and Clark. Clark on the run with the push. Clark, tough shot. 3 minutes to go in the first half. Phil Knight Legacy Championship game here at the Moda Center in Portland.
Nobody got out to Martin.
Clark saw that pass coming all the way. Things just... Riola's done a great job on Clark, but Clark is left open for the deep.
Good size.
Clark steps into it.
With the miss, and now here's Clark being aggressive by O'Grady. Madison O'Grady, number 44, gives Iowa some quality, which is saying something.
And he said it straight face, because I thought for a moment, considering some of the greats he's had, that he was like, maybe.
Clark, defended by Yaney. Martin's second chance. Clark pulls it.
And just pick you apart and then play soft and she gets open looks. Like, that's a shot.
There are no rebounders for Oregon State, and that allows Iowa to get out and run.
Clark. Kate Martin got a hand on that, and now 2-on-1. Clark with a little head fake, and then here comes Clark streaking down the left side. Clark, Beavers. Right-handed.
So she can shoot it. Clark fakes the pull, fade away, count it. Let's retake the lead. Clark to the hoop. Bartley steps in late. O'Grady fighting for position, comes out, sets the screen. Clark takes the left hand, fade away from the baseline. Shoot. Clark, pull-up jumper. Got it. Big battle on the block with Bartley. Clark, fade away three. Oh, you know it's going up. She got it. Turnover at the top of the key. Caitlin Clark gets the layup. 8. Pull up 3. Look out. Wow. Martin back out to Clark. Uses the Sonano screen. Pull up jumper from 19. Half minutes. Clark takes the screen. Takes Miller to the hoop. Leans in. Gets the roll.
Shamatzi in place of Lauterbach. Clark, third quarter, and have missed both. Clark against Sundell. Spinning, shooting, scoring! About it for a moment. Here's Clark. Stutter step. Explodes through a double team and scores. Clark the other way. Fade in the fourth. Clark. Step back 3.
Dowling Catholic, so plenty of rivalries between those two. Is Clark pulls out for 3 and nails it.
You can see what Coach Bluter talked about, the fact that they needed to get back in transition defensively, and they did a good job of that.
Attack. Clear out for Clark. Drives in and off the baseline.
Well, if anybody did, she did. She was right there.
Clark for 3. Second quarter, Hawkeyes' biggest lead, 4 in the third quarter. Here's Clark. Iowa with the basketball and a 2-point lead at 2.5 left to play. Clark gets the screen, hits the 3. A great matchup that has been this afternoon. Clark all the way to score.
Warnock with the rebound. Clark pushes. Weaves her way through traffic. Pulls up from 15. Count it.
There's a help defender, and they stole it. So definitely got to watch out.
Clark, long 3. Clark with the rebound. Long 3 again. Got it! Clark pick at the top of the key. She's got a free run at the layup. And she makes with the rebound. Her 5th rebound already. Davis, quick handoff to Clark. Maya Clark on her, off the glass. Quick steal from Clark, see if she can do it again. She'll take this one to the hoop herself and score. Maya Clark with 8 now. Caitlin Clark in the lane, fouled. Clark takes it. And Clark's going to have seen about all kinds of defense here. Nothing's really going to be new for her. Clark, pull-up jumper.
And what they're doing is just being real physical.
Heat check. Got it! Martin, good dribble drive handoff. Clark gets the layup. 3-point line, 11 for 13 from the free throw line. Sonano lobs it to Clark on the block. Gets it down and scores. Martin dribbles to the top. Stelkey checked in. Sonano. Clark, deep three.
To use one if it helped avoid a turnover, but the biggest message was boxing out. Clark.
A lot of Iowa fans here in Seattle, and Caitlin. What it's about was just this team and the grit and the pride and the toughness. As working against Weta. Sonano with the screen. Clark needs no room. I think early in this ballgame looking to settle in.
Away, Marshall, Clark to the rim of the junior's career. Here's Clark wide open. You bet. Here's Clark open in the corner. She got it. Here's Clark guarded by Robinson. Clark firing again. Oh my! Here's Van Lith, has it stolen by Clark. Clark trying to outrace Cochran, able to pizza. State's press wonderfully earlier this season. Louisville's press not quite what we're going to see tomorrow night from Ohio State. But Louisville, a terrific defensive team as Clark burning by Beal. Caitlin Clark lays it in. Here's Clark. A deep one. You bet! Clark. Clark goes around Fletcher. The leaner is good. Clark spinning into the paint. Gets to the cup and reverses it in. Clark is going to remain on the floor. Clark fading and hitting.
Line up inside.
Clark turns the corner and lays it in.
Both of these teams very willing and capable of pushing in transition and scoring quickly.
Here's Clark working around Fletcher. Caitlin as Clark lays it in, her first 2 points. Clark behind the back, separates, and hit. Line 10 of 11. That is not characteristic of them. Clark knocks down.
Sort of on that journey with you, you know?
Right.
Man.
At that moment. Chris, has anything happened to you like that?
Something wrong with the both of y'all.